What is up, guys? Chris here, and today I'm gonna tell you about wedding photography, my trade. And today we're gonna talk about my beginnings in wedding photography and how to actually make it in this business. So for those of you who want to become a wedding photographer, for those of you who just bought a T3i or T6i and you think that you're a photographer and you want to become a wedding photographer, this is for you because I'm going to tell you a lot of stuff of what I did and my mistakes, and I'll probably give you a few tips and tricks to make it in this business. So I'm thinking about extending this video to 3 parts. The first part is gonna be this boring story about me. If you wanna skip it, go ahead and skip it. I don't care. I just realized that if I'm not making videos, you guys are gonna be more inclined to subscribe to the channel. So I'll probably put a video once every 6 months, something like that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna make videos. I'm not gonna quit. You know me. But this one is gonna be about my startings and your startings. The next one is gonna be probably about gear, and I know you love gear. And the next one, the third one, is gonna be about the business itself, the marketing, the promotions, the financing, the money, everything that actually involves a business. And I'm trying to get my wife for the last one. I'm not sure if she will be willing to talk in front of the camera. She's not that she's not camera shy, but she's a photographer just like me. We're doing photography together. This business is we're partners in, and she's more like behind the camera than in front of it. Not an extrovert, so maybe I can get her to talk to you because for her it's easy. She's the one who's in charge with everything from marketing to financing and bills and everything, that taxes and all that stuff. But this one is gonna be more about like I said, a story of what I did, how I started, and how you can start it and make some money with wedding photography. Now I'm gonna start putting my Raising brand. This video is sponsored by Raising brand. That's a great thing that they come to sponsor this video. And no, I'm just kidding. Nobody sponsors my video. I'm the only one who does that. So I'm sponsoring my own channel. I want to talk to you about how I started. I'm gonna put myself out there for you, and I'm hoping that you guys are gonna comment and let me know your struggles. Let me know your bumpy roads, and together we can find a solution for you to make it in this business. I started like 12 years ago. I was back in Romania, and the business of wedding photography, it was growing at that point. Romanian photographers are very good photographers, and you can go check some of them. I'm gonna link them in the description below. You might go check them and see how they do, how they work. It's totally different than here in the States. I'm very happy to say that my style improved a little bit since I'm here, but when I started, I was just a guy with a camera. I bought a D200, if I remember correctly. I have a Nikon D200. I always been a Nikon shooter. Now I'm shooting Sony, but I loved my camera, and I was doing a lot of stuff with it. I was shooting landscapes, I was shooting flowers, I was shooting bugs. I was on the street all the time shooting people. And I realized that I am inclined more to shoot people than, still life or just dead things like buildings and stuff like that. So I tried to make it being a portrait photographer. I shoot a few portraits for my friends and, a few small gigs, very, very low paid gigs. But then at one time, one of my friends, I'm sorry for that, I have a cold or whatever it is, an allergy or something. So at some point in time, a friend of mine came to me. I think it was 1 year after I started shooting more seriously. And he said, man, I need you to help me with a wedding. My assistant actually backed off, and I need someone to help me with this wedding because it's a big wedding. And I said, yeah, of course. I'm actually eager to shoot this. Oh man, thank you so much. And he left. He said, I'm pretty sure you're gonna do a great job. And he left. And there were 2 weeks that I had before the wedding. So I started practicing. I went on the street and I started shooting people. And this is my first tip for you. if you are trying to get into a wedding photography, the best thing that you can do is to practice yourself on the street, shoot street photography with people. If you can do it up close, it's even better. You will probably hear a lot of people saying that people are afraid of camera and they don't want to be in front of the camera, and they will probably, tell you not to shoot a picture of them or something like that. But if you want to do wedding photography and even portrait photography, it's a good thing to go out and shoot street photography. Street photography will help you, get acquainted with the tension and the atmosphere and everything that it's around you when there are a lot of people, and you have to shoot them no matter what without thinking that they look bad or good or they don't like it or like it. So do that, and this is the first tip. Go out on the street and shoot street photography in a preparation to become a wedding photographer. So I went out, and in 2 weeks I was ready. At least that's what I thought. And I went to this guy in the morning, and we drove to the venue. And on the way to the venue, he actually said something that I will never ever forget. He said, "Man, if you can do it today, you won't be able to do it ever." Because he probably thought that I was very frustrated and I was very tense, and he was trying to tell me that I should generate a positive energy out of that negative energy that I have. So I was kind of shocked and stunned, and I was like, oh my god, I'm shaking, and he comes with this. So that was it. I had to shoot it, and I shoot it, and I almost screwed up, but I didn't. Almost screwed up. I was only shooting one camera. Like I said, I had a D200 from Nikon, and at some point my camera failed me. Something happened with the shutter, and I had to reset the camera. It took like 30 minutes. I reset the camera, put another battery on, changed the lens, all that stuff, and that actually messed up with the entire thing. My entire workflow that I was, trying to have in my mind, and how everything is gonna go on during the day. That messed it up, and I messed it up with the pictures a bit. But in the end, the pictures were great, and he was amazingly happy with what I did. Obviously, that was a happy thing for me, and there was a very lucky situation. But nonetheless, if you are trying to start in wedding photography, my second tip for you is go ahead and shoot as an assistant. Go ahead and try your skills with someone that already is in this business and already knows whatever this business requires, and all the stuff and all the things, especially if you're like me, a person who came from overseas here in US. There are different traditions, different perspectives. The photography in general, it's totally different. Like I said, I'm gonna mark some websites down in the description below from Romanian and European photographers that I really enjoy in wedding photography, and I really like to watch their pictures and get inspired by them. You will see that it's a big difference. The Europeans are shooting differently, not better, not worse, but different. And for some of you who are coming in this country, from other countries, and you're trying to start into wedding photography, go ahead and shoot. Even if you have experience in shooting wedding photography like I did, go ahead and shoot a few weddings with as an assistant, like a second or the third shoot, and see if you were ready to get a gig by yourself. Another thing that you should be aware of is that nobody, no one in this world will come knock to your door and say, hey, I saw your pictures online and I want you to become my wedding photographer. My wedding is on whatever March, and you will shoot this wedding because I really love what you're doing. It's not gonna happen. It might at some point if you are probably one of the best photographers in the world, but as a beginner, you won't have this kind of interaction. People will probably contact you via social media, and here is the online part that I was telling you about. You have to always post your best pictures on social media. And if you have the capability to actually buy a paid domain, and make a website and put the work that you are really fond of out of your tons of pictures that you shoot. Put them there and let people know that you are ready to start shooting paid and a wedding or another gig, a party or something like that. Today we're talking about wedding photography, but if you think it as a huge ball that includes parties and bar mitzvahs and all events that involve people, like family reunions and stuff like that, all of them can be included in the wedding photography, because all of them are event photography, and it's pretty much the same, just that the workflow and the timelines are different. Other than that, you have to shoot pretty much the same, not missing the important parts, be always there when something is happening and all that stuff. So this is the third tip. We can consider it a tip. Always be aware of what's happening around you, and that's what I'm saying, street photography will help, because on the street you're always turning all left, right, look backwards, up, and all that stuff to see a good composition. That's what's happening at the wedding. Take your camera off your eyes and look around and see what's going on, because if not, and if you're holding your camera to your eye all the time and keep spraying, you will probably miss a lot of things happening behind you, or on the right or on the left. And if you are not turning, if you're not looking around and raise the camera and shoot and keep the camera always on your eyes, being afraid that you're gonna miss something, you will definitely miss something. Another thing that I realized on all these years is that people tend to become your enemies at some point, because you are trying to get the most out of the event. You are trying to shoot everything possible to tell the story of the whole thing. And at some point you will probably interfere with people who are trying to slow you down, like those guys who are shooting with their smartphones all over the place. Hey, can I shoot a picture of you? Yeah, just stay there, guys. Stay there. Stay there, guys. Wow, that's a beautiful picture. Look, that's a beautiful picture. Your timeline over the day, it's pretty set. You have to know exactly what to shoot and when to shoot. But things might come up and might appear in this huge scene, and mother-in-law might want to have a picture with her ex-husband, or the bride might want a picture with her nephew who just popped at the wedding and is probably be off in an hour. So all this stuff we're gonna slow you down. That's why it's better to know exactly what's going on. And another tip for a starter, and this is the moment when you already got the wedding, it's a very good thing to have a notebook, and always write down everything that is about to happen at the wedding. Ask the bride and the groom whatever they want. Ask the mother-in-law, ask the father-in-law, and so on and so forth, and have a pretty secure and fixed timeline, because if anything happens in between, you might know that you have a window of 10 minutes between that and that, and you can do that. But otherwise, if they slow you down, you're gonna miss on other events. And I'm not talking here about reception or ceremony or whatever, the big important events in the during the day. I'm talking about the small ones, like bride and bridesmaids are cheering and they're laughing in a corner, drinking champagne, or the groom and his groomsmen will probably have a game of soccer in their suits. Obviously there are things that comes up, but at some point in time you should be able to integrate those things in the big ones and have a very smooth timeline, very smooth workflow throughout the day. This is pretty much it, guys. I'm hoping that you're gonna enjoy this video, and like I said, I realized that you are more inclined to subscribe to this channel if I'm not making videos. So if you want me to stop, let me know. I won't, but it's good to know if you want me to stop. I will definitely continue with part 2 and part 3, and I'm hoping you guys have a great weekend, and we'll have a great start in your photography business. If you're trying to do weddings, please put your comments in the box down below and let me know whatever struggles you have. At some point in time, this point in time, it's fun to look back, but I know that for you it's a struggle, and I want to know if I can help you. That's all. Thank you so much for being here, and peace.